Welcome back, everyone, to Risk Related. This time, it's all about integrated GRC processes and how Granite is kind of shaking things up a bit. You know what? If instead of battling risks in all these separate little silos, you could actually see how they're all connected.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It's really interesting stuff. We've been going through some great material from Granite's experts.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture they're painting is really all about shifting away from managing risk in these little boxes to a more holistic view, an interconnected approach.
Yeah, and they talk a lot about those silos.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone listening who maybe isn't totally familiar with that term, could you kind of break that down for us? What did that actually look like in a company?
Okay, so imagine you've got your IT security team.
Okay.
They're tracking all their risks in their system, maybe using something like the ISO 27000 standard.
Mm-hmm.
But then over in finance, they're busy managing financial risks with a completely different system.
Right.
Maybe following CSO ERM. And then you've got project risks floating around in spreadsheets or project management tools.
Right.
It's like everybody's speaking a different language, using different tools, and nobody's really seeing the big picture.
It's like instead of everyone being a team, it's more like separate departments all trying to solve a puzzle, but with pieces from different boxes.
Exactly.
Right? They might get a few sections together, but they'll never see the whole picture.
Right.
Have you ever felt that kind of disconnect in your organization?
Yeah.
Where it's like different departments just aren't quite on the same page when it comes to risk.
Oh, it's so common.
Yeah.
It's a real pain point. And it leads to all sorts of problems. Data gets fragmented, efforts are duplicated.
Right.
And there's just this lack of alignment across the board when it comes to understanding and responding to risks. And that's where Granite's platform approach comes in. What if you could bring all those puzzle pieces together?
It's like having that aha moment, you know, when you finally find that missing piece.
Yeah.
So how do they actually propose to do this? What's their secret sauce?
It's all about having a single platform that brings together all these different risk management frameworks, tools, and data. It's not about throwing out what you already have.
Right.
It's about connecting all those disparate systems and creating one unified view of risk across the whole organization.
So instead of ripping and replacing, it's more like building bridges.
Exactly.
Between different risk functions.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how does that actually translate to better decision-making? Everyone talks about that, but what does it actually look like in practice?
Okay, so let's say you're a chief marketing officer.
Okay.
And you see this sudden spike in customer complaints.
Uh-oh.
Normally, you just investigate that within your marketing silo.
All right.
But what if this integrated platform showed you that those complaints are actually connected to an increase in IT security incidents?
Wow.
Suddenly, you've got a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
And you can make much more informed decisions about where to focus your resources.
It's like connecting those dots that seem totally unrelated at first.
Right.
And realizing, wait a minute, there's a bigger issue here.
Exactly.
They had this great example about a seemingly minor security incident.
Right.
An unattended computer.
Mm-hmm.
That actually ended up revealing broader risks.
Mm-hmm.
Can we unpack that for our listeners?
Absolutely. So imagine an employee forgets to lock their computer before stepping away.
Okay.
On the surface, it seems like a pretty minor slip-up.
Yeah.
But with Granite's platform, that incident is automatically logged and linked to an existing risk. Staff not following IT security guidelines.
So it's not just about documenting the incident.
Right.
It's about understanding the underlying behavior.
Yeah.
That can actually pose a much larger risk.
Exactly. But it doesn't stop there. Further analysis might actually show that this risk of staff not following IT security guidelines is connected to a whole bunch of other areas within the organization.
So one unattended computer can expose weaknesses across different departments.
It can.
That's kind of crazy.
It highlights how interconnected everything really is within an organization.
Right.
And here's where it gets really powerful.
Okay.
Based on all this analysis, the platform can automatically generate a new task or control.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, it might suggest implementing a policy of automatic screen lock.
Okay.
After a certain period of inactivity.
So it's like going from reactive.
Right.
Like, oops, we had an incident, to proactive.
Exactly.
Let's stop this from happening again.
That's the beauty of it.
It's pretty baby.
It's all about connecting those dots, understanding the ripple effects of what might seem like isolated events, and taking those proactive steps to manage risk across the entire organization.
It's like having a real-time risk radar.
Yes.
Constantly scanning for potential issues and giving you the intel you need to make the right calls.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked a lot about risks.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What about all the other stuff organizations have to keep track of? Compliance, business continuity, all those audits.
Right.
Can this platform handle all that too?
That's the thing. It's not just about risk management.
Okay.
It can integrate all these different areas like business continuity planning, compliance, audit management, and more.
Well,
it's really a central hub
yeah.
for anything related to governance, risk, and compliance.
So it's that single pane of glass that everyone's always talking about, the comprehensive view of everything that's going on.
Exactly.
But with all that data
yeah.
and all those connections, wouldn't it be super overwhelming for the average user? I mean,
right.
Not everyone needs to see the entire risk universe.
You're absolutely right. And that's where user roles and permissions come in.
Okay.
So the platform lets you tailor the information that each user sees based on what they do and what they're responsible for.
It's like giving everyone the right set of lenses
exactly.
to view the information that's relevant to their work.
Yes.
No more, no less.
Right. A frontline employee might only see risks and controls that relate to their specific tasks.
Right.
While a manager might have a broader view of their department.
Yeah.
And executives would see the big picture.
Makes sense.
It's all about giving everyone the information they need without overwhelming them.
Right, right. But even with the best technology in place, we can't forget about the human element.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. How do we make sure people actually embrace this new way of working? Change management can be tough.
You're absolutely right. Just implementing a new platform isn't enough.
Right.
You need to bring people along. So that means clear communication about why we're doing this and how it works. It means providing good training and support so everybody feels comfortable using the new system. And I think most importantly, you have to address any concerns or resistance head on.
It's really about helping people understand how this shift actually benefits them.
Yes.
Right? How it can make their work easier and more efficient and less stressful.
Exactly. If you can show people how this new approach helps them achieve their goals and makes their lives better, they're much more likely to buy in.
Right.
And remember, integrated GRC is really all about empowering people, giving them the tools and information they need to make good decisions and manage risk effectively.
So it's not just about the what of integrated GRC.
Right.
It's also about the how.
Yes.
Right. It's about changing mindsets, breaking down those silos, and building a culture of collaboration and communication around risk.
I couldn't agree more. It's about shifting from a culture of risk avoidance to a culture of risk awareness.
Makes you think about how fast things are moving in business these days.
Yeah.
Things change so quickly.
Yeah.
How does an integrated GRC approach help organizations keep up?
That's where that real-time aspect of these platforms is so important.
Okay.
With traditional siloed approaches.
Right.
By the time you gather data from different systems and you've analyzed it and finally made a decision, the situation has probably already changed.
It's trying to navigate a traffic jam.
Yeah.
Using a map from last year.
Exactly. You're going to be stuck forever.
Right.
But with an integrated platform, you have that live traffic feed.
Okay.
You see risks as they pop up.
Yeah.
You understand their impact, and you can adjust your strategy as you go.
Constantly adapting.
You're iterating and improving your risk management based on the latest information.
So we've gone from this fragmented view of risk to this integrated, interconnected approach.
Yep.
What would you say are the biggest benefits for organizations that make this leap?
Well, there are a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
But let's focus on a few key ones. First, you get incredible visibility.
Okay.
You're not piecing together information from different sources anymore. You have a single, complete view of your risk landscape. It's like turning on a floodlight after you've been stumbling around in the dark.
That's a great analogy. You can finally see the whole picture clearly.
Exactly. Second, you can make much better decisions.
Okay.
Armed with these real-time insights,
right.
You can assess risks accurately, prioritize actions, and allocate resources effectively.
And because it's all connected, you can really see the domino effect of your decisions, right? Across the whole organization.
Absolutely. Third, you can streamline your processes.
Okay.
So by automating tasks and centralizing data and integrating those workflows, you can eliminate all those redundant things, reduce manual effort, and improve efficiency everywhere.
So less time fighting with spreadsheets,
right,
and more time actually managing those risks.
Exactly. And ultimately, all these benefits contribute to the most important one,
which is
achieving your organizational goals.
It's about seeing risk and opportunity.
Yes.
As two sides of the same coin, right? And using that understanding to make strategic decisions that push the organization forward.
Absolutely. When you have a clear view of risk,
Yeah.
you can be more confident in making bold moves, seizing opportunities, and achieving those goals more effectively.
Okay, so we've established that integrated GRC is a powerful concept.
It is.
But I'm curious about the people on the ground.
Yeah.
How do we make sure they actually embrace this new way of working?
That's where a good change management strategy comes in.
Okay.
It's not enough to just implement a new technology.
Right.
You need to engage people, communicate those benefits, provide training, and address any concerns head on.
It's about helping people understand how this change benefits them and their work.
Right. It's about empowering them to be part of the GRC process.
Yeah.
And remember, with the right platform and the right approach, integrated GRC can actually make their lives simpler, their work more efficient and less stressful.
It's not about adding more to their plates.
No.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's say someone's listening to this and thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but where do I even start? You know, what's the first step towards getting to this more integrated approach?
I think the first step is awareness.
Yeah.
You know, just recognizing that that old way of doing things, that siloed approach to risk management might actually be holding you back.
Yeah.
So start asking questions like, how connected are different risk functions? Or are we missing out on insights because our data is stuck in all these separate systems?
So it's about challenging the status quo, right?
Right.
And looking for ways to create the more holistic view of risk.
Exactly. And once you've got that awareness going, then start exploring those options out there.
Yeah.
There are different platforms and solutions, you know, like the one from Granite that we've been talking about, that can help you make that shift.
And it doesn't have to be this huge, massive project right from the start.
Right.
You can start small, maybe connect a couple of key areas, and then kind of build from there.
Absolutely. It's a journey, not a destination. Well, I think it's safe to say that our deep dive into integrated GRC has left us both feeling pretty energized.
Definitely.
And full of ideas. This isn't just about, you know, buying some new software. It's really about a whole new mindset, a move towards a more connected and proactive way of managing risk.
I completely agree. It's about recognizing that risk is everyone's responsibility and giving the entire organization the power to identify, assess, and manage risk well.
Yeah, it's about seeing risk not as this scary thing, but as a key part of decision making.
Yeah.
And actually a driver of success for the organization.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as we wrap up this episode of Risk Related, I want to leave you with something to think about. If you could have just one piece of information that would help you make a better decision today, what would that be? And how could a more integrated view of your organization's risks give you that insight? Something to ponder. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and stay ahead of those risks.